Hi, so today I am recording in the bedroom, which I normally don't do, but all the books that I want to show you are in my book closet here upstairs in the bedroom. So here we are. And I am like before my gallery wall. Let me show you. This is my gallery wall. I love it. And yeah, so my books are over there. That's my microphone, but my books are over there. And I'm gonna grab them and we are going to discuss some authors and some works that I think are underrated, that aren't read as widely as I wish they would be. And so yeah, let me grab them. I am back. I have my stack right next to me, so we're gonna go over them. I picked Candide, the Optimist by Voltaire. I think it is underrated. I don't see many people read it. It is a satire. It is very funny. Look at this beautiful cover. It is by, yes, Macmillan Collector's Library. This little one. They're very pretty. And I think this book is underrated. The next book, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. Yes. Anne Bronte. I read it last year. I don't remember. It was so good. Had me on the edge of my seat. This is about a woman who fled from her past, and there's a man who falls in love with her, and he slowly gets to know what happened in the past. So you get taken back in time through her diary. This beautiful edition is from Chiltern's Classics, and it's rather big, but it's so good. Ooh, let's do her sister. So Villette by Charlotte Brontë. By the way, I bought this in New Zealand. I love the cover so much. It was partly cover by, partly I really want to read this. So this is about a woman's journey to her happiness. She's in love with an unavailable man, and there are some gothic elements to this story, and I think many people will love it if they will give it a chance, but they rather read Jane Eyre, which is also a really great read, but this one is wonderful too. Okay, let's move to some Russian authors. The first one I have is Alexander Pushkin. I read his short stories. They are so good, but I don't see anyone reading them. So you're going to add this to your reading list. You're gonna thank me later. The next author is Nikolai Gogol, Dead Souls. This is unfinished, but I promise you it doesn't matter that it is unfinished. It is so funny, so good. This is about a man, and I have to laugh because I just remember how funny the story was. It's about Shishikov. He's a swindler, and he's trying to buy dead souls for a reason that I'm not going to spoil because that's the whole point. He meets all kinds of people that he's lying to, manipulating, and it's a satire. It's really funny, but no one is reading it, so I recommend it. Let's go to Germany. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, The Sorrows of Young Werther. This is a tiny book. It's a novella. So there isn't anything that stops you from picking this up. If you like beautiful prose, deep feelings, a gloomy, dark, melancholy story, then this one is for you. This is about a man who is in love, not in love, he's obsessed with a woman who is married and he can never have her. And he writes in, I think it's diary form. He writes in diary form about his obsession. Really good. The next one is a French author, Émile Zola, and I want you to read Thérèse Raquin. It is creepy. It is full of obsession. It is gloomy and dark. I sense a theme here. And again, this is about a man and a woman who fall in love. The woman is married and they decide to kill the husband, and it comes with all kinds of consequences. I think it's a really gripping story, and it had me on the edge of my seat. It had such an original ending. I loved the ending. I would never have seen it coming. So I highly recommend Thérèse Raquin. Also a very thin one, so no excuse to not read it. And I almost stabbed my eye with this book. I have 3 books left. I am holding The Picture of Dorian Gray from the Irish author Oscar Wilde. But this is not the work that I would recommend. I want to recommend is theater plays, because everyone seems to forget that Oscar Wilde wrote more than just The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is an amazing book. But please, please, please go read his theater plays. They are so witty, so extremely funny. And if you don't know where to start, one of my favorite plays is The Importance of Being Earnest. I've read them all. It's one of my favorites, and read them. Then I have 2 more French authors. The first one is Guy de Maupassant, and I have read Bel Ami and several of his short stories. Let me see, because I think I have them around. Here it is. The Best Short Stories by Guy de Maupassant. This is from Wordsworth. Yeah, Wordsworth Classics. I read these after I read Bel Ami. Both amazing, but again, I never see anyone reading Guy de Maupassant. He's an amazing author, and I think you should read him. And we have come to the final book by a very famous author. It is by Alexandre Dumas. Most people just read The Three Musketeers or The Count of Monte Cristo. But those are, especially The Count of Monte Cristo, rather big books. I would love to recommend The Black Tulip or La Tulipe Noire. I recently did a review, so if you're not sure whether or not you will like it, go and check out that video. By the way, many of the books that I talked about today are to be found on my channel where I talk about them. So if you're unsure, just go and do a search on my channel and you will find them. I will also try to remember to link them on the video itself. This book, recently finished it, and I was just blown away. It was really good. Not as good as The Count of Monte Cristo, but still really good. And if you loved The Count of Monte Cristo, you definitely need to read this one, because there are so many elements that overlap. So this one is about a man who is obsessed with growing the perfect tulip. But there's another man who is also seeking to create the perfect tulip, and he tries to steal the tulip and the fame that comes with it. So this is again good versus evil, a really intriguing story. Those are the books. Add them to your reading list, and I will see you next week.